Pretty good?
That feels so good.
It's all over Noah.
Oh, I don't feel good. Okay, let's go outside. Hey, we'll get him later. I got him. I got him. Don't worry, I got him.
All you. All you. Isolate, yes.
Keep it isolation. I think it's locked from their side.
We're isolating.
Oh, come on in. Yeah, that was good. It was good. It was yummy. Lots of sugar in it. I hate it when I get those sneezes though. Those really catch up. So, man.
I can smell the
So we just talked about Josh how to come in through a door, and what happened? Josh barges in through the door. We have some sort of crazy overdose guy. I don't know what you've been snorting or doing or cocoa powder.
It's got to meet those 4,000 calories.
Right? So what all went wrong or sideways, or what could we have done better?
Seen.
Better partner would have been the best thing for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, you were supposed to be the partner?
Yeah, I was a partner.
Stop and look around.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even really make note of the fact that that was there, and if you take a moment to look around, see what's going on, warn your partner, hey, eyes on.
Just so you guys know, scenarios now.
Oh boy.
Self-injection.
We'll have cocoa powder everywhere.
So let's just say that never mind. I'll just surprise you with it. It'll be funner to surprise you guys. Because watching your guys' face when it happens is the best. So, can you repeat that? No? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so obviously no situational awareness, barged right in, came right in, right? We recognized, oh, hey, there's something here. So you identified it right before I sneezed. And then, so we identified, then what? We recognized, avoid. We didn't do a very good job of that. We did not isolate.
We did not notify.
Who do we need to notify now?
Hazmat. And
Cops come barging in.
we gotta isolate.
So
You
the question I was
isolate.
asking, so we get Noah outside onto the gurney and we start our treatment, right? Do we take off and do we leave?
No.
But he's dying.
Yeah,
Right
but
in front of you.
Do you have
you
other
need
people
to
there?
have
No, it's just the two of us.
Then no.
you need to have
You-
somebody else
One
to.
person versus the
Yeah.
one
To
person
secure
dead
the
versus.
You have to have somebody that you pass on the information to before you take off and leave this, because, like we said, what's the cop gonna do?
Barge
He's gonna
in.
open up the door, you'd be like, oh, it's not too bad, I don't see anything in there, let's walk in. Huh.
And then you got two patients.
Right, down they go. Maybe they sneeze, who knows? Right, so then now you got a cop down. Well, hazmat's coming, right? So getting the appropriate resources there, in the appropriate order, and making sure that you don't get other people in there with more injuries.
So when you're isolating,
Yes?
you're isolating other people from coming in, are you also keeping yourself in there? Or when you leave, you're keeping people from
Keeping
coming
from
in?
people from coming in. Okay. So
Okay.
the idea is you are not contaminated yet. Well, I mean, we kind of got contaminated with the sneeze. But the idea is you come in and you recognize it before the contamination happens. And then how do we decontaminate usually?
Water.
With what? Yeah, brush off, right? Like what Noah's having to do out there. And so we brush off, we water off, contact hazmat, see if there's anything else we need to do, and then you just make that transition. Okay?
Hopefully before you get in your ambulance.
Hopefully before you get in the ambulance, right? And then, like, so we've transported with our SCBAs on before, right? We show up in the ER saying that we have a patient that needs decon and stuff. We're wearing our SCBAs transporting this person. And what do they do with them? Put them in bed 35, bed 34, you know, they just poof, and they're like, hey, and we're like, trying to get a report, like, you realize this person needs to be decontaminated? And they're like, oh yeah, we'll take care of that. Like before you infected the entire ER.
You sound like
Right?
Rich.
Yeah. Lucky for the paramedic student that gets to work that day. So.
No SCBA for you, sucker.
Alright, let's see. Mass destruction, yep. Terror, not to kill. The Boston bombing. Is that designed to kill people or is that designed to hurt people?
Hurt.
Why?
Nails.
Shrapnel, right?
Yeah.
So the dirty bomb type stuff, where it just sends a bunch of stuff. It's trying to injure as many people, because what happens if it kills someone?
We leave them there.
Takes up 0 resources, right? You look at them and you're like, yep, they're dead. What happens if somebody is critically injured?
Alright, you gotta spend resources.
You gotta spend your resources and it overwhelms the system.
And
And that
then-
is what the design of them is to overload the system and inflict terror and chaos, which, what does terror and chaos cause? More injuries, more problems for the people to try and control and maintain, okay? Difficult to control. All right, CBRNEs. CBRNEs, so this is the common one. Came up with a little be nice, a little different way of wording it, but this is the common abbreviation for chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive types of weapons of mass destructions. Which one do you think we will see here locally, if you were a vet?
Chemical,
I'll
As
help you out.
a-
You can pick 2 if you want.
as a WMD, or
Yeah.
just for,
Yeah, if something was gonna happen.
Chemical and explosive.
You're gonna say chemical and explosive.
Yep.
Anybody wanna choose a different one?
Biological and nuclear.
Biological and nuclear.
Nuclear would be hard to get, I think.
Corvallis has nuclear.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Biological also.
Alright, so
doesn't
most
U of
likely
O
one-
have
So the most
biological?
likely one we're gonna see is gonna be chemical, okay? You see chemical and then small explosives would be the thing. So, talking about chemicals, they're inexpensive and they're fairly easy to make, right? You can make all kinds of crazy stuff. So, carfentanil, is that a chemical
Yeah.
thing that could cause issues? Did you guys hear about, let's see, is this some Russian? Give you a Russian.
Give us what?
The Russian.
Russian. You just passed it.
Passed it.
Okay?
Yeah.
There you go, the Russian case. This is crazy, right? So 50 people go into a theater. 50 armed insurgents go in, right? So what do special forces do? Fentanyl derivative to incapacitate the terrorists.
Sweet.
They injected it, they put it up into the ventilation
So they
system.
clear-
Fentanyl. How much fentanyl?
And they
Like this is
killed
before.
And then it's
people.
sausage.
That's nice. And then lo and behold, what happens?
Kills everybody.
It killed everybody in there, right? So they didn't really think it out. So it was kind of like a reverse chemical,
Well, it's
Yeah.
Russia, that's the way they do things.
right? They just, that's their way of eliminating things, okay? But I'm like, that day is Wednesday, I'm like, okay, times are a little off. Okay, and so yeah, so in the reverse effect of a chemical attack, this is exactly what could happen. The subway attack, you guys hear about the subway attack that had happened where the,
Japan?
was it Japan?
He had a slide on it with the sarin gas attacks.
See, I got all kinds of people in that way.
Turn gas.
That one.
That one, there we go, yep, okay, I knew it was there. Yeah, Tokyo. Huh.
I'm Shin Shinakaru.
No, I just know that guy's face.
Cult. Shin.
You know this guy's face?
Shinrikyo.
I was already out of high school when this happened, so.
Cult.
All right, so let's back up just a little bit here. So let's talk about, so remember we talked about the sarin gas on the rock, right? So BX gas. So a penny, the amount, that much chemical can kill you, okay? So very small amounts of these chemicals can kill you. Do they have small amounts of chemicals when they release them?
Nope.
No. Then how do they normally try and release them? What's the most common way?
Aerosol.
Try and get it aerolized, right?
Does that say one column on the Lincoln Memorial? It's not even a penny,
Yeah.
just one of the columns?
That much. So, let's just say we had,
How do you clean that up?
Well, kinda like that.
Oh, please don't blow it on me.
So think about it, so how would you, because I mean, if you have one column, what type of system are you gonna have to use to clean this kind of stuff up?
Shop vac.
Well, you've gotta find something
Yeah,
to,
it takes a lot
to
of
neutralize
people
it,
to have
because.
CDC
So this
has
is way, way, way above our pay grade, right?
Yep.
So what is in our pay grade?
Isolate and
Avoid
deny.
it.
Oh, something bad here,
Finding it,
right?
pointing
Go
it.
back to our rain, right? We go back to our rain, okay?
At what point do you call just the straight Eugene Springfield hazmat versus a regional hazmat?
So you call Eugene Springfield hazmat because they are the regional, they're the entire region too. And so they come in and then they'll make the determination whether or not this is a national thing or whether or not it's, because they'll come in and do the chemical identification, figure that out, and then that's where they make their chain of command progressions up the hazmat calendar, okay? Big time blistering, right? Blistering, nerve agents, nasty looking stuff. So looky here, look who has the black market of chemical warfare.
Russia?
Back to the Russia again. So when in doubt, don't travel to Russia and tell them that you're US, right? Chlorine gases. Do we have a lot of chlorine being transported around the
Yeah.
state?
Yep,
on the railroad. On the railroad. All right, so James, you want to tell us about this since you were still in high school? Oh, out of high school.
Actually, it wasn't even, they had more than one attack. So they basically, it was a religious cult, and they decided they're gonna take as many people with them as possible, so they went in the Tokyo subway, and they put sarin cans underneath their seats. And then when the Tokyo trains were all loaded up at rush hour, they just popped the cans, and just let it spread.
They didn't actually kill that many. Yeah, well,
No, because most of the, because they
Wait.
didn't do it
Casualties.
properly, they popped the cans, but they didn't actually like get it
Aerosol
airborne.
it.
What they should have done is pop the cans and just thrown them up into the air like a party
They
favor.
got him
Then-
above everybody's head level.
Yeah, but they didn't, they just opened the cans.
But what is
underneath
5,500 casualties? Like,
Right, so they
what's the
got
difference between
sick.
a death and a casualty?
Should mean getting sick, but didn't actually
Yeah,
die.
they got really sick, and a lot of people were able to actually get out of there really quickly.
Without
Was it
clinical
people-
manifestations of injuries. 4,000.
But so that's almost 10,000 people affected.
Yeah.
yeah, the subways are crazy.
Okay, and then we talked about some of the World Trade Center bombings. The first one, cyanide destroyed the blast. Where's cyanide common for us? Where do we commonly see cyanide?
Isn't that
Not
like
in not
Is
in
it farms?
chemical warfare, but where?
rat
Farms?
poison or gopher poison, farms?
Fertilizers
Fire.
and stuff.
Fire, right?
Fire.
So anybody that's in a house fire with all the new chemicals that are out there, with all of the fire retardant stuff, you treat them with cyanide kits. Now, you assume they end up with an almond style breath, almond smell. Some people can smell it, some people can't. And so that's kind of the stuff. And so we have cyanide kits that we give them. It turns their skin bright red. Basically, it's attempting to, so with cyanide, it's like 250 times the affinity for red blood cells.
Isn't that carbon monoxide?
It's very similar to the carbon monoxide. Like, it's that affinity.
250 more than oxygen.
Yes. So cyanide's a big deal. It will easily bind much quicker, and so we give cyanide, basically it blocks the receptors, cyanide kit. It's pretty crazy watching people, because they turn like beet red, like red, like Sarah's hat red. Their skin, like niacin reaction on steroids, red.
And that's when, with the cyanide.
With the cyanide kit, once you give them the infusion, like it looks bright red going in the IV thing, and then their skin, like you can watch it like go up, and then like their skin just, it's bizarre, super crazy. People get freaked out if they're,
You've given it?
boy, I was with somebody that gave it.
Only the chief carries it, right?
Yeah, yep, the Chiefs carry them, so. All right, so you see all these right here? These are all gonna be on your test. You guys can just memorize them. If you'll look here, this is just from like 2006, so in 10 years. So people are like, hey, how often are chemical weapons used, right? So in 10 years, there's like almost one per year easily, right? And then what was the most recent one we had?
Is this just in the States or is this worldwide?
Wasn't Iran using
Take a
it?
look.
Iraq,
These are not in
Iraq,
the- These are
Iraq.
not in the States. We've got Iraq, we've got Iraq,
Syria.
Well, just
Damascus.
recently,
Syria.
Iran, I think, was using them in,
What did you say,
Syria
Syria?
is doing
You guys heard about this, the big Syria one?
Yeah.
The most recent one was the one that, like, no, we didn't use chemical weapons.
it. Yep.
Okay, maybe we did, maybe we didn't. And then they tried to deny it for a long time, but, well, how do you find out if they use chemical weapons?
Test
The
it.
way they present, right? Like their signs and symptoms, the blisters, the
Yeah.
asphyxia, right? So there were ways that they were quickly able to figure it out. So it's not as common here locally, but it's one of the common uses because it's slower to be detected. We're pretty good at the ability to detect things pretty quickly, and we have a lot of sensors and stuff that we have the ability to find those things out. All right. All right, so you got multiple. We talked about your sludge. Here's that 2-pan kit we were talking about. So this is the one, bless you, ones that there are storages of those here locally. The hazmat team has access to a bunch of stuff. The hospital has a big extra storage of them with their auto injectors for that stuff. Here are some signs. So how do you treat somebody that presents to you like this?
Treat him as a burn patient.
Rain.
Try not to pop the blisters as much as you
So they have some sort of chemical on their skin.
can. You wanna get them to
Well, how's
decon,
How you gonna decon them?
Call hazmat.
depending on the age, and look at the little booklet thing, I forget what it's called.
ERG.
Emergency
That-
response guidebook.
That's if you
How,
know.
how you gonna know what
That's
it
if
is?
they have a
though?
placard or some kind of identifying on it that they might know.
Like you just, like there's like, you come into a house and there's 5 people that look like this. Are you gonna have anything?
No.
Is everybody good, or all 5 of them are bad?
All 5 of them look like this. Patient 1, patient 2, patient 3, and the other 2 are similar.
No powder for water on them.
Okay. Do you wanna use any sort of your reference connections that you have?
Yeah.
Like, do you wanna call hazmat? Be like, hey, crazy situation here. So I got this funny thing. What do you think? Right? Got these people, they got massive blisters. Is there anything out there that we shouldn't put water on? Right? And then most of the time they're gonna be like, no, almost anything can take water. There's only a couple of things that can't, and they'll be like, hey, look for this, look for that. It's like, no, we're good. Yeah, go ahead and decon them with water. What do you do with the water that comes off them?
Catch it.
Contain it.
Where's a good place to decon them?
Bathtub.
Bathtub. So we're gonna hang out inside the house?
Nope.
No. Good choice. Good change.
If you're really lucky, like a kiddie pool or something.
Kiddie pools are awesome. I
Oh,
mean,
you
like,
can use your
Hot tub.
tender tank thing. or
Porta
whatever.
tank?
Porta tank,
Some-
yeah.
but you're just an ambulance. You showed up on an ambulance. You guys are thinking you have all these cool resources. You have a hose from the front of the house, and
Yeah.
you're an ambulance.
I would say do it like over grass, so it soaks
You
it
should
up,
have your.
Why would you do it over grass versus over like concrete?
so it doesn't spread.
Because what can you do
scoop up the
with
dirt?
There you go. Right. So do we want to do it around storm drains? No. So, good patches, big patches of dirt, big patches of grass, because all that stuff can be scooped out. They can just go deeper and deeper and deeper to scoop that contaminated soil out versus, hey, we're out in the middle of the street, we're gonna hose you off here, and then all that goes down into the storm drain and then out into the public water system.
To the river.
To the river, there we go, okay? Yes, save that cocoa powder. Alright, so move fresh air, O2, remove the clothing, decontaminate, restrict physical activity in hospital.
Would you do all that stuff though, if you found them in the house like that?
Would I do all that stuff, like move them to fresh air? Yes.
You don't know what,
See, I saved your life, Josh left you hanging, dude. Remember that?
yeah?
Okay, just remember that you and I spent this little special moment together. I saved you, Josh left you.
At what point do you not save him and leave him in there?
Yeah, cause like,
Are you
I mean,
going for-
this you'd save them like fentanyl one.
To be honest with you, I'm gonna save you every time. I hate to say it, no, I hate to say it. I'm gonna save you
I'll
every
take
time. Because, I'm gonna grab the person unless I am physically unable to, like as in like the one time I had my partner with the started to go down on me. Like I'm just like, well, I don't know if I can pull you out, right? God damn it, Mark, I knew it. I knew it. Like I can just see the whole body transition. See?
Tried real hard.
Okay, so, but yeah, so I'm gonna save you every time, okay, Noah? Josh, on the other hand, just like let you go. So why did you just leave, Josh?
I don't know, because I had fentanyl dust in my mouth.
That's good, that's good. It's a pretty good reason, I would guess, though. So are you dying right then? Did you feel like you were dying?
Over cocoa powder?
Tasted pretty good. You're like, hey, I might stay for a little while. So yeah, unless I'm physically unable to do it, I'm gonna grab onto him, probably exactly how I did, and just drag him out into the fresh air, and then I'm just gonna dump him on the front yard, and then, okay, am I good? Like, make sure that I'm good, and then, okay, let's get back to him. My partner's good, apparently not. He likes cocoa powder. He went back in for more, and so then we're gonna start that treatment stuff. Okay, so, all right, go ahead and take a break. Tip from Mark.